All right, today we're diving into a really important story, a huge data breach at the fintech company Figure. But it's more than just a hack. It's about what happens when a company's story doesn't quite match reality.
I mean, it's a question we all have to ask ourselves, right? How safe is your financial data really? We trust all these companies with our most sensitive info, but what happens when that trust gets shattered? Well, the story we're getting into today puts that question right in the spotlight. So let's get right to it. The company at the center of all this is Figure. You might know them. They're a pretty big deal in the world of blockchain-based lending. And last week, they came out and confirmed it. They'd been hit by a cyber attack.
So, this was their official statement. The hackers stole, and I'm quoting here, a limited number of files. Now, just listen to that phrasing. It's incredibly vague, isn't it? A limited number. What does that even mean? It doesn't tell you what was in those files, and more importantly, it doesn't say how many customers were affected.
And that's pretty much where the official story stops. But it's also where the real story, the one you need to hear, actually begins. Because, as you're about to see, the true scale of this attack goes way, way beyond that carefully worded corporate statement. So, what did a limited number of files actually turn out to be? Well, it was this: nearly 1 million people. To be exact, 967,200 unique customers had their email addresses exposed in this breach. That's a pretty big number. So you're probably wondering, how do we even know this? Well, it's all thanks to the work of a security researcher named Troy Hunt. If you're into online security, you've probably heard of his data breach notification site, Have I Been Pwned? He's the one who actually got a copy of the stolen data and dug in to see what was really inside. And wow, it was so much more than just a list of emails. As Troy Hunt discovered, the breach included the whole package: people's full names, their dates of birth, their physical home addresses, and their phone numbers. Basically the core of your personal identity, now in the hands of cybercriminals. Okay, so who did this? Who was behind this massive data theft? A well-known cybercrime group that goes by the name ShinyHunters stepped up and claimed responsibility. They actually told reporters, yep, that was us. We're the ones who hit Figure. And for a group like ShinyHunters, this isn't just about causing trouble. It's a business model. See, their whole playbook is to steal data and then use it as leverage. They go back to the company they hacked and try to extort them for money. If the company doesn't pay up, that's when they retaliate by leaking all that stolen info to the public. And in Figure's case, it looks like they followed through on that threat. The group went ahead and published 2.5 gigabytes of data they claim was stolen from Figure, on their public leak website. That is a huge amount of sensitive customer information just released out into the wild. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. Why are we talking about this breach in particular? I mean, data breaches happen all the time, right? Well, what makes this story so important is that massive, gaping chasm between what a company says in public and what the reality of a breach actually is. And this just lays it all out, plain and simple. On one side, you have Figure's official statement, a limited number of files. It sounds small, contained. But on the other side, you have the reality that a researcher uncovered: personal data from nearly 1 million individuals. The difference is just staggering. It's not even in the same ballpark. And what did Figure have to say when they were confronted with these detailed findings? When reporters asked them about the nearly 1 million people affected? Well, according to the source material, crickets. Silence. They haven't responded to requests to comment on the researchers' analysis, leaving almost 1 million of their customers totally in the dark about how much risk they're truly in. So, this whole thing leaves us with a really big question, one for you to think about. When your personal data is stolen from a company you trusted, who's ultimately responsible? Is it just the criminals who took it? Or does the company that failed to protect it in the first place bear that responsibility too? It's a critical question for our digital age.